Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome you to online session. The subject is geography and the topic is physical features of India. So the contents as follows. So India is a very large country and has varied landforms that are called as physical features. It is highlighted as mountains, plains, deserts, plateaus. It is as varied as the languages, culture in India. These landforms were formed due to the tectonic movements of the plates under the earth. So, the folding, faulting, and volcanic activity only gave rise to the various land formation. Now, the theory of plate tectonics tells us that the continents which are now existing were once upon a time in a different formation. Now, they were formed due to movements of the plates. Now, the movements of plates are in different ways. They are folding, faulting process as well as volcanic activities is undertaken. Now, the classification of plate movements are such as the horizontal, vertical, and transform boundary. In this movement, collision can take place, crumbling can take place, which result to formation and destruction. Now, here are the plate boundaries that shows the divergent movement, transform boundary, as well as convergent. Convergent means the plates come towards each other. Divergent means go apart, and transform boundary are uh, that move past each other. Now you can see this picture called Gondwana land, which is actually the oldest landmass that is existing in present India as Deccan Plateau or the Peninsula Plateau. So you can see in this picture the continents like South America, Africa, Antarctica, Australia, and Indian subcontinent were all joined together. So convectional currents split the crust into a number of pieces that led to drifting of Indo-Australian plates and separated from Gondwana land towards north. So this kind of drifting resulted in collision of with the much larger Eurasian plate. So now at present the formations of continents are in different ways. Now, due to the collision, you can see that the Himalayan mountains were emerged from the Tethys Sea. As the Himalayan mountains emerged in the recent time, it's the youngest fold mountains. So the upliftment caused a depression in the north, and you can see that the hollow place under the mountains were formed due to the reverse deposition of alluvial soil, and this resulted into northern plains of India. So thus we have different physical features in India, uh, like plateau, desert, valleys, high peaks, deep valleys, rivers, fast flowing. All this consists as due to the Himalayan mountains. Now the map shows you the major physical divisions of India. You can see the Himalayan mountains in the northwest to northeast, and the plains that are one of the largest plain in the world, and you can see that the plateau, central plateau, and peninsula it is called, as. So you have the Deccan Plateau as such, which was called as a Gondwana land. And since the land peninsula plateau is surrounded by seas in all the sides, it is named as Peninsula Plateau. So the northern side you have the mountains, and at the foot you have the plains. In the west you have desert, and you can see from southern region you have the plateau, and on the both the sides of the peninsula you have the western ghats and eastern ghats, which are sandwiched with the coastlines called western coast and eastern coast, and of course the islands in the Arabian Sea called Lakshadweep and Andaman Nicobar in the Bay of Bengal. So the major physical divisions of India, you can see the highlighted topics in the Indian country, the major physical divisions. The first one is Himalayan mountains, the northern plains, Peninsula Plateau, Indian desert, coastal plains, islands. The Himalayan mountains, as you know, it emerged from the Tethys Sea in the recent time. That's why it is called the Young Fold Mountains. It's parallel, and many ranges are here. Like it is the most three ranges, and they are the Himadri, Himachal, and Shivalik. So you can see that the rugged mountains and rivers flow from the peaks. There are various glaciers, etc. Now, first we are going to know about the Himadri range. Here in Himadri, the snow is covered throughout the year. It is perennial snow-covered mountain, and it is also called the Great or Inner Himalaya or the Himadri. It has an average height of 6,000 meters of loftiest peaks. It contains of highest peaks and it is asymmetrical in nature, and it composed of granite. Now next is Himachal, which is the middle Himalayas. Now these are lesser Himalaya, they're called as, which is having the altitude between 3,700 to 4,500 average. Pir Panjal range are the longest and most important range. Dauladhar, Mahabharata range, etc. The famous valleys are here: Kashmir, Kangra, Kulu Valley. Shivaliks, the lowest range. It's called the outermost range, and it has the altitude of 900 to 1100 meters. The ranges are composed of unconsolidated sediments that flow from the Himalayan mountains and deposits. These valleys are covered with thick gravel and alluvium. They are longitudinal valley, that is the parallel valley, between Lesser Himalaya and Shivaliks known as dunes, Dehradun, Kotli Dun, etc. Dunes are nothing but valleys. Now the peaks are highlighted here. The highest peak is of course your Everest, and followed up K2 in India. Everest is in Nepal, K2 it's in India, Kanchenjunga in India, and other Dhaulagiri, Nanga Parvat, etc. The northern plain. The next land feature or the topography is the plain. Now, what we learned is when the Himalayas emerged, the hollow place was filled with a river flowing from the Himalayas and depositing in the hollow region, and it was formed as the greatest plain, one of the greatest plain in the world. So you can see that Ganga, Brahmaputra, and Indus are the major river systems, and you can know that northern plain is also known as Indo-Gangetic plain. Many tributaries form the Gangetic river, the Ganga river as large, and there are tributaries for Indus as well as Brahmaputra. And Indus River is shared, the water is shared between Pakistan and India, and the plain landform, its features are like densely populated and high agriculture productivity is undertaken, and you can see that lot of industries are established due to labor in supply. So abundant cheap labor is available due to densely populated region. So you can see that employment is high, and these plains are highly populated as it is very convenient for the people's settlement. So these are the features. So a lot of silt is deposited in the plains called alluvium, and you can know that in the third stage of the river, the distributaries are occurred as a channels. So this leads to lot of deposition. Now northern plain is further divided into you can see Punjab plains, um, and you can see that Indus and its tributaries larger part in Pakistan, and Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, etc. All these originated from Himalayas only. And you must learn about the meaning of Doab. Doab is nothing but two water, which means Doab is a piece of land which is drained by two water bodies. That means two rivers flowing in a place. So lobes are existing here. Now, Ganga plain also extends from Gagar and Teesta rivers. So further, you learn lot of northern plains. You can see that relief features in the northern plain divided into four regions like Babar, Terai, Bangar, Khadar. So about 8 to 16 kilometer width and consists of pebbles deposited by the rivers. There are two types of alluvium are formed by the rivers flowing, and they are called Bangar and Kadar. Bangar is the old one, and Kadar is a newer one, which is deposited by flood, and it is very good quality aluminium soil. Now, Peninsula Plateau, as we had already mentioned, that oldest landmass, Gondwana land part is here. So, it is a table land, table like shape it has, and uh, you know that it's a broken piece. It was formed due to the breaking of the Gondwana land, and it consists of igneous and metamorphic rocks. Once upon a time, the volcanic eruptions had erupted, and a lot of lava were flown on this land, and that's why the black soil is available. So the flow of the rivers named Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, King is flowing from southwest to northeast, and of course the western and eastern ghats are located, and you have to know that the highest peaks are Animudi, Doddabetta, Mahendragiri in the eastern ghats, and western ghats. You can see that these are the highest peaks, and Peninsula Plateau consists of black soil. This is the feature resulted out of igneous, and it was formed for a long time. They, and next, the desert, of course. It's the man-made as well as natural activities consequences. Though the desert was a small part, but it was expanded due to man's activity, human beings' activity like deforestation. And Indian desert lies towards the western margins of the Aravalli, which is the oldest mountain, oldest hills. And of course, this is a sorrow to the Rajasthan area as Rajasthan falls on the rainy shadow area, and Punjab gets lot of rain as the wind of moist are diverted to Punjab side. Now coastal plains, you can see that two coasts are there in India and longest coast, and they are eastern and western coast. Western coast is narrow and eastern coasts are broader. And you must know that many rivers are originated in the western coast, but since the land is high, the rivers are diverted to the eastern coast. So the Peninsula Plateau stretch running along the Arabian Sea on the west and the Bay of Bengal on the east. So the western coast is sandwiched between the Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea, and eastern coast is of course between the Bay of Bengal and the Eastern Ghats. Now the coasts are divided. For example, the northern part of the coast in the western coast area is Konkan. The central stretch is called Kannad Plain, while the other one, the lowest part, is Malabar. Same way, the eastern coast, you can see it is divided as the northern Sarkar and the Coromandel coast. So the rivers like Mahanadi, Godavari, Kaveri flow towards the east and makes it a broader coast, and a lot of delta is formed. And Lake Chilka is an important one in the eastern coast. Now, the picture is about the coastal plains, the islands. The last land feature that you all need is about the Lakshadweep and Andaman Nicobar Islands. Lakshadweep uh, is a group of islands that are formed by the polyps or the sea animals, microorganisms that secrete calcium, with which the dead skeleton were formed into islands and group of islands. And you can see Lakshadweep, Minicoy, Amandeep. In 1973, it was named as Lakshadweep, and its small area, 32 square kilometer. The capital is Kavaratti, and you can see that it is the Union Territory of India, and various flora and fauna are surviving here, and bird sanctuary are inhabited. You can see that the elongated chain of Andaman Nicobar Islands are in the Bay of Bengal. But these islands are called Lakshadweep are extended even to the Bay of Bengal towards the north to south. So you can see the two pictures of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Thank you.